Good morning, everyone. My name is Cosman Harris, better known as Cos. A lot of people online know me on Facebook, my friends and family. I'm born and raised in the streets of Brooklyn. I'm basically saying that most of us in our communities or in the society, we learn street ways and behaviors from our families and things like that. With all that's going on today in our society, black men and women, minorities are being murdered and beaten and abused by police officers. So I just felt the need, after seeing a couple of these things online, just to get some basic information out. My personal background, I've been doing security and teaching, penal laws, criminal fire, investigations. I have worked with, most of my bosses were ex-police, alongside sometimes with Secret Service agents in different locations. So I have a large, huge background in this field of work, basically learning our laws and rights. It was a perfect opportunity for me to ask questions. They sent me back to school. So basically we're going to talk real quickly this morning. I put something up on Facebook yesterday. I'm going to put this on Instagram. So today we're going to talk about like the laws for the 50 states, okay? Basic laws. This is the gun laws, and these are penal laws here. Our penal laws and criminal procedure laws. So basic rights. What are your rights if you're stopped by a police officer? Okay, just going to talk about some real basics. Next we're going to put some more information up. So we're going to cover basics that some of us know and some of us might don't know. Because remember, you went to school for maybe cooking. You might have went to school to be a computer guy, or you might, your job might entail that you help people in hospitals, institutions. They don't teach this. If you don't have a background in law enforcement, lawyer, or police, or peace officer, you know nothing about your civil rights and criminal procedure laws for that state that you're living in. And right now I'm in New York State. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay, in this book talks about police officers. The first section is on police, law enforcement. Okay, it took me 1 year just to comprehend that, because I was always taught if somebody hits you, hit them back. That's what most of our communities are taught. Like black on black crime. If you roll up at me, I roll back at you. You take one of my dudes, I'm coming back at you. This has set the groundwork for what's going on in these communities and throughout the United States. Society has sat back, and law enforcement and other agencies sat back the way and watched how we treated ourselves and said, hey, it's all right to kill some more of y'all. So we got to stop that mentality. Okay, the only way to stop that is with education, knowledge. In the scriptures, Hosanna, I know some of you probably don't read the Bible, but I do, okay? I even take classes on that so I can learn more. It's good to take a class on something. Okay, in a few minutes, I got to go get off here and teach, I teach online, okay? Your basic rights when something happens, okay? Stop using the word self-defense. I'm going to be giving classes on that. That's not the right terminology legally. You say self-defense to police officer look, okay, he don't know nothing, okay? Self-defense is basically called justification of force. Penal law 35.00. And they got a couple of more laws that go with it. But basically, we're going to talk this morning real quickly about what to do if you're stopped by police. First of all, if you're stopped by police, okay, a police officer can detain you. That means he can question you. You might, like this morning, somebody sent me a picture again that looked just like my son. It happened yesterday. I was talking about it on the internet, so you had crazy things happen. I'm looking at it this morning. A friend, student of mine said, ain't this your son? And I'm looking at the picture, and he looked just like my son. I can show it to you on my phone. And I got a picture up there of my son right there. Just like him, the glasses, everything. I texted to my son, I kept looking, but, I'm not too sure. So I'm like, okay, maybe, because sometimes different pictures, you look differently. When I showed it to my son, I said, no, Dad, it looks like me, but it ain't me, That's what police are taught. They can be looking for someone, not to excuse what's going on. Please pay attention to my words out my mouth. Please pay attention, listen. Or you got 2 ears, so we listen, okay? Police officers can be looking for someone, a suspect, someone committed a crime, someone that fits that description, okay? And that could be a reason why they stop a person. So one law says they shouldn't stop a person because we're citizens, okay? And they make another law to equal it. They say, okay, if we do stop, a police officer does stop a person, they have to read them. They have to, the citizen has a right to ask them, what is your probable cause? That means your reason for stopping me. I was going to the store, I was going home, or I'm just minding my business, going to the park. That's called liberty. We have the liberty to come and go at will, part of the Constitution. Okay. Now, if you are stopped by police, okay, first of all, we have to remember as humans, none of us, even me, I don't like being stopped by police. So the first thing, if we don't have knowledge, we're going to start cursing. So we have to replace the cursing with knowledge. We have to change that, okay? Because you react negative, police are going to go right into what they're taught. Okay, some of you never been in police training or been at police academy. You don't know what they teach them. You don't want to know. You'd be like, oh my God. It's crazy. Okay, so again, these laws. So if you're stopped by police, obey the instructions. Most of the things I see on the internet, I'm not taking a side of police. Please understand what I'm saying. I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to educate us. Okay? When you react with them negatively, they're going to go right to what they're taught. Get in their stance, get their hands on their gun. And the law, I don't have time to get into it today. I'll read it to you from the book, that once a police officer is engaged with you, he's given instructions, and you resist, the law says he can use more force. If you're being detained, I know you're regular people like I used to be many years ago until I started paying more attention and taking classes and reading this and being trained in this information. And once you're detained legally, you're arrested. Most people think you gotta have handcuffs. Like I got handcuffs right there. You gotta have handcuffs on you to be arrested. Not true. Not true. Once a police officer detains you, you're somewhat arrested because he's questioning you. You might look like somebody. You might want to check your ID. You might got to take your name, run it to the precinct to see if you have a warrant. Should not be outside without ID. It's another thing most people don't know. It's against the law to go, even me, to go to the store, take the garbage out without identification. So again, I'm going to be covering more and more of these basic things that we need to know. So my people, black minorities, will stop being killed. Not saying that you're still not going to have police officers killed, but the numbers are going to come down because you're going to know more of your rights. You cannot fight them with violence. You can only fight them with knowledge and education. Get a book open. Find out what Martin Luther King said, what Malcolm X said. The only way you can come at this society is through knowledge. You can't come at them like this. They're going to come back just like this. That's what we fail to realize, okay? So if you're stopped by police, do not make any sudden moves. Put your hands up like this. Okay, if you're, I got shorts on. So again, if I'm stopped by police, my hands should be out. Something in my hand. Put my hands out like this, palms open, down. Or you can have your hands right here. If you have something in your hands, sit it down, okay? Ask for permission to get your wallet out, okay? If you're driving, I'll do a training just on driving. The laws are different from when you're in a vehicle, okay? It's just so many basic things we're not being taught. And I don't see nobody online talking about the stuff that we should be teaching each other. You learn a new dance, you learn how to drink, you learn how to, we all learn that, but the stuff we should be learning, I don't see nobody doing it. I'm the first. Give me my credit. But it's spiritual too. So again, let's get that out the way, okay? You're lost. Don't move. Ask for permission to get your ID out. Okay? If, okay, the police officer is giving you attitude, what have you, don't react. Okay? Follow his instructions. okay? The minute you react or move suddenly, their training teaches them they can get their weapon out, or they can use more of force against you because you're using force against them. It's called resisting arrest. Remember, because they stop you. You are legally under arrest if nobody told you. They don't teach this in schools. Please pay attention. I ain't got all morning to teach y'all. I was on the internet yesterday, Facebook, trying to get this information out. Every time I turn around, there's somebody dead and what have you, and they're showing the police officer foot on the person's head. That's their training. They can do all that. So if you resist, I'm trying to show you that once you resist, they can use more force. So please pay attention. That's all I can tell you. I'm doing my part. Okay, people? Next, once you are instructed, you get your ID out. Okay? Your driver's license, your New York State ID, whatever type of ID you have. It has to be something from New York State, that state you're living in. If you're in New York, should have New York State license, driver's license, learner's permit, or just regular New York State ID. If you're from Jersey, should have the same New York State, New Jersey driver's license, New Jersey ID, or New Jersey learner's permit. Something that says the state on it. That's what they consider legitimate ID. Worst come to worst, if you don't have that, use your job ID. Okay, shows that you are working. You're a working citizen. Okay, something with your picture and your address or where you work at. That can also be used as ID. Okay, but they prefer New York State, what they call government ID, that comes from motor vehicles. Okay, if a police officer abuses you or what have you, whatever happens to you, remember, look around. There should be cameras where you're at, in front of buildings and stores. Bystanders, people walk past filming things. Okay, get that person's attention. Come on, help me, film this, please. You can say that verbally. Okay, and somebody will start filming and taking down what's happened. The only way you can get back at this system, like I have here on the board, on my television, go on YouTube. Go on. There's a lot of information that you're skipping past because you're watching your videos and fun. I like fun and movies and stuff like that, but you got to have a time to learn. We got to stop playing. They're killing us. Murder. People being beaten and not knowing that they can be compensated. So if the criminal law, because that's what they're going to charge you with, saying that you're committing a crime, you're not listening to police officers, blah, blah, blah. Charges are going to be brought against you. Okay, they'll be dropped down to like misdemeanors or violations, which are most likely sometimes you just have to pay or the judge might just throw it out. Okay, as long as you compose yourself when you get in the courtroom and tell your lawyer whatever happens and so on, so that they can convey that information to the judge. Okay, a lot of cases have been thrown out. People come back and tell me, Mr. Harris, my case got thrown out. Man, yeah, the police officer was wrong. Okay. But after they get thrown out, they didn't do nothing else because they don't know nothing about civil law. Your civil rights were violated. You're entitled to money. That means compensation. So today it just gave you like a quick scenario of basics. Why you're learning this so you can be compensated. Compensation can change where I live at today. It can change the car I drive, where I go, what I eat. It changes everything about your life. Stop thinking that. We're not taught that. That's why black people still, we're just stuck in poverty, thinking, oh, I don't need no money. No, that's wrong. Yeah, it's wrong, but the only way you can change these things is with knowledge. The only way we can change these systems is hitting them where it hurts, in their wallet and pocketbooks. You can't go at them. These laws they're set up for you to do that, to come at them violently. You can't fight it, okay? Not that way. We have to fight it with intelligence and knowledge. Thank you for listening to me today. I will be putting more. Leave your comments. I have family even comment and comment, say, wow, what do I do in this situation, that situation? This is new, so every week I'm gonna do some more training on it, okay, and give out some more information. Okay, what do we do if you are attacked? Okay, you should be documenting it when you get home. Go to a hospital, you need a doctor's report. Call a lawyer, good lawyer. So again, these are just basics that we should know about our rights. Talk to you real soon, Cosman.